were kidding. Kidding. We were kidding. Just kidding. I think I gotta dedicate like 5 minutes of just going over what we're doing here. The door is open, you know. The love is there. I mean, I had as I was telling Johnny, for the last 3 days. I mean, well, God, what's today? Today is Sunday. Yes, I didn't even know what day it was. Well, it's Sunday night. We'll go into Monday. I went up to the spot where I get the newspapers. I usually get them on Monday mornings, like early Monday mornings. But I just thought, for some reason, I thought like today was that day. But I was a day early. And, you know, doing what you gotta do. The light over there is not blinking. I mean, it is now. It does. See, I know, I just know. You know these things. Whether people believe you or not, you know, I wouldn't just say, I don't like doing stuff like that. I just like, you know, remembering something that I heard, you know, listen to the radio. I mean, I'm usually like pretty accurate on it, like especially when you hear something that's alarming. All right, but you know, for sake of argument, I'm not going to, you know, carry on with it anymore. You know, I mean, it's over with. I mean, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Does it matter that like if 40% of people get the flu shot, you know, end up, you know, sick or go to the hospital, or if it's 0.4, which seems rather really awfully low? You mean out of 100%, not even 1% has a reaction to it? I don't know. Time for our coffee. And we were kidding. I mean, I mentioned a few people on the show yesterday because, you know, I put up some funny pictures here and there, like, you know, just go over, you know, just look at their wall, you know. Like the thing with Crispo. I said, it's all you got to do, like 5 minutes maybe out of a day, or every other day. Come on over, show me what you got. Something to bounce off of, especially that we know each other all this time. Or do we? Now, let's start off with something here. Oh! We have a skipper. If I could walk on water. Man, you are on fire today. Some way. And if I could. So anyway, yes. You gotta do that. Because when I listen to Savage, I like the intro music, you know. That's basically anything. Just like when I see like a good song from a band on here. Many times I went to people's wall, and I mean that. I mean that if I put up a comment about a song or, you know, whatever, your performance, I mean that. Not just blowing smoke, and not just, you know, trying to get in, stuff like that. Just like on our opener, you know, towards the closer, I was talking about Can't Buy Me Love. Patrick Dempsey and all that kind of thing. Yes, it almost feels like that in a way, like, you know, doing all these videos all this time, like, you know. And yes, I might have got a beautiful cat. Yes, we're back to that. If anyone knows, like, you know, 2016, 17, a lot of that stuff is on the YouTube. Like the videos, Jerry Montero, and some, I guess, is on here in the Facebook thing. And getting back to these different kinds of political systems that we have. So in the opener, I mentioned a little bit about Keanu West. Okay, Rod dismissed it, saying, "No, he's an idiot, this, that," or I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth. Maybe the next time, if I see it, I'll remember it. Just like, you know, I was listening to the radio about the flu shots and all that, and you know, see if I could remember it. But it does feel as though, no, maybe he did. You know, all right, I'm going to use concentration. He just said, he said Keanu West has bipolar. Okay, fair enough. I don't think he was dismissing what he had to say, and if he was, that's fine too. This is America. This is the setup. This is democracy. This is how things get done, you know. having a two-way conversation, not one way. And our ideas, our ideas, our thoughts, our creativity should be ours and ours alone, and it should be protected. Shall I say flagged? I know, maybe some people listen to this show think like I'm a constitutionist, like, in a way, sort of. I mean, after all the things that we have done, all the laws we changed, this, that, like, I mean, it worked for so many years. Oh, yes, there were some things, there were some terrible things that happened. But then, we have the media, we have people explaining it a different way, to adjust and to meet, their narrative. I mean, what is the truth? What really happened? When you watch these specials, like on CNN or whatever, I grew up seeing it totally different. But then, like, all this, all things were happening. I mean, changing people's minds, like, towards things, or just having people think a certain way all the time. It's like you can't step out of the line. You can't say anything. You can't buck the system. You can't fight the system. Enough fighting. I mean, a lot of people are describing this party. That's why I'm saying we have like 22 days. A lot of people are saying, it's like, it's angry. It's anger. And I feel bad. Instead of doing all this stuff here, look at some kind of accomplishments. Instead of criticizing everything, like the news cycle is going to start all over. Whatever the stories are, something to do with Trump, or it's something like hypocrisy, or whatever. Like he's unstable. Like, look at these moves. They just put them on there, one after another, one after another. Talking about, he's going to start a war here. He's going to do this. The economy's going to go in the tank. Everything. But he's sitting there. He's questioning things. He's questioning who's putting up the price increases there. Not the internal revenue. It's whatever it is. The thing there to stop inflation. It's not the Feds. Drawing a blank. I just heard it too this morning. Must be something interfering. Maybe I'm all jacked up. Maybe I'm like, displaying, some behavior, mannerisms from Keanu West. You just have this built up inside of you, passion. He must follow it, he must follow all this kind of stuff. I too, I followed it. Trump followed it for years and years and years. God, there's things like interviews like in the late 80s. He's on there discussing policies, discussing all these things. It's not the Feds. What is this thing? This thing that seems... But anyway, that's almost like discussing the thing there, the guaranteed student loans and universities and stuff like that. But what I forgot to say in that opening little monologue, it that definitely is a system built for failure. It rises. Things rise. And that's what I meant. If I lost it, I lost it a little bit there, because I tend to joke around a little bit, stuff like that. But not joking around. I already know what the day is going to bring as far as all this. And the one thing that we need so desperately is coming together. I mean, what's it going to take? What's it going to take? I mean, the thing with Kavanaugh. We had that Kavanaugh thing. Does anybody remember the Kavanaugh? Everybody remember? Does anyone know what the ACLU is? Innocent and proven guilty? Innocent? I mean, the Democrats came up with something that was unprovable. It was a thing where you couldn't prove it. I mean, the evidence that was there, it was like no matter what Kavanaugh said, you have to stick with that because of how it was how it was said. It was like, here's what happened. We were at a party and this, that. Nobody is verifying it, other than what is her name again? Mrs. Ford. Mrs. Ford. Forgot her first name already. I don't know. It was Catherine. No. But she's mentioning these things. So ACLU, and then we had Ali Vashi on there. All his guests were going over it, doing the same thing. And I'm saying, like, why don't they understand the things that they say all the time that they're for, but then they reverse them in a way when something happens, like they take away someone else's rights, momentarily. But what's the purpose? And then they call Keanu West crazy. They call me crazy. They call a lot of people crazy. And that Chris Wallace, he does not like Trump. I tell you right now, I can't believe all the things that this one guy was saying, and it helps to remember their names. But he was talking about, comparing, both the parties, and talking about what may happen, when the election comes, because then what they want to do, Democrats do get some of these houses, where they want to work with slowing up the process, working on getting rid of Kavanaugh, working on getting rid of Trump, all these things we got building up right now. It's like we had a good starting point. Every president, no matter who it was, when Bush handed over to Obama had a mess. Obama handed over to Trump. Come on. Wasn't perfect. Did it look perfect? How did he win if it was so perfect? That was my point. Probably yesterday or the day before. How did he win?